Hi everyone and welcome to today's video on flats. If you watched my video last week, I was talking all about sharps, what they look like, what the rules are about sharps and how to spot them in music and what to do basically when you encounter them, how to play. So today we're going to talk about flats, complete opposite direction, but you could probably predict a lot of those rules will be the same. And therefore I decided to change the format of this video slightly. So we're going to be looking over the head of the piano, and I'm going to include one exercise where you will actually try by yourself to read through some music, possibly for the left hand, because people tend to struggle with the left hand a little bit more. That includes flats. And that piece of music is actually from my book 24 Easy Pieces and Exercises. It's a fantastic book, really. If you are still at the beginner stage of learning how to play, you always need some pieces and some exercises to just practice your reading ability. But now let's have a look at some flats. So first let's discuss what flats are. The flat sign looks like this, and it does total opposite to a sharp sign. So if you remember from my last video, sharps raise a note and flats lower it, but it goes by exactly the same principle. So it goes to the closest key below. Let's say I want to find where A flat is. So this is my A note and A flat will be here. What about if I wanted to find a D flat? I find the D note, and to make it flat I go to the closest key down. And again, one of the tricky ones, what about C flat? Using exactly the same principle. So C, the closest key lower, this note can sometimes be called C flat. So now you can probably tell that definitely every black key can be named as something sharp or something flat. So this could be either G sharp or A flat. This is D sharp or E flat, and that is, let's say, E sharp. And this will be F flat sometimes. And in terms of seeing flats in music and reading them, the same rules apply as for sharps. If a flat sign is by a specific note, it only applies to that note and following to the rest of that bar. I wanted to actually give you a bit more challenging example today where you have one flat as part of the key signature. So this is from my book 24 Pieces and Exercises, designed specifically to train your sight reading skills, so your brain processes the notes, the direction, the flats and sharps really easy. It goes from 0 to playing 3 sharps and 3 flats, and really useful, a lot of useful material. I always use it. That's actually how it came about. I collected all my little exercises that I've been teaching over the years that I know have proven to be really effective and speed up the process of people being able to understand notes, recognize notes, master directional reading, and so on and so forth. So the link to it is below. Please have a look at it. This is an exercise number 5, and as you can see, we have one flat as part of the key signature. If you remember from my sharps video, it always means a specific note that will be flat, and you will have to remember to play it flat when you encounter that note. It doesn't matter which octave, which hand, and this is something that you just have to memorize. One flat as a key signature always means B flat. So all B notes will have to be played flat, whichever place they appear, whichever hand, whichever stave. But this exercise is specifically for the left hand only, you can see, as I find people always struggle with the bass clef a little bit more. And actually, using this example, I will also show you a little bit of my teaching style. You will be able to see that I do a lot of directional reading. So firstly, to successfully be able to recognize those B flat notes, please do not try and spot them in the music. Our mind does not work like this. Unless you've already mastered piano, you're probably at grade 5, 6 or even 7, that you will be able to recall every specific note individually very easily, at first our brain processes this information as directional reading. So basically what it means is you find your first note for sure, but then your brain will be speaking to you in ways, let's say next down, next up, miss a note upwards, miss 2 notes downwards, and so forth. And because of that, the easiest way to ensure that you will not forget to play those flat notes is to locate them on the piano. And as you see your finger going onto B note, you will immediately remember, oh, I have to play it flat, whichever octave that is. But number 5 exercise is for the left hand. So let's see how it will work out. The first note is the middle C, and then we're going next down. And there it is. It's a B note, so you'll have to play it flat. Then again, next down. Then you're going 1 note missing, so we're going to F. Next up. Then try and see how many notes are missing. We're going downwards, 2 are missing, so that's an E. Then 1 missing upwards, G, and 1 missing upwards, and there you go. You've got another B, so that is a flat. Next down, which is A, and then we're returning to the middle C. Now try and go through the second line by yourself. You can pause the video and try it out. So both in terms of reading the notes directionally, recognizing them, and making sure that you will remember to include the B flat, which actually is also part of that second line. So how did you get on? Let's try and see if we can play together. The first note is C. Next up, next up, 1 missing upwards. Go back to the previous that you were on. E, and then 3 missing upwards, and that's a B flat. Then a C, lower, and F is the last note. Please also try not to use rhymes, because for instance, after in the last 2 bars E, B flat, you may have known that the next note is C because you counted rhymes. But so very often I see people playing wrong C. We can have this C, we have this C, and then the confusion sets in. You can try and spot that first, and most importantly, we are going downwards, and then yes, it is a C note, and then F. If we have 2 flats as part of the key signature, like in this example here, the first flat is still B flat, it never changes. The second flat is E flat. And I think so far I've been describing just up to 2 flats and 2 sharps. So maybe next week we'll talk a little bit more about more complex key signatures. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Share this video with anyone that you know is learning how to play the piano, and I will see you in the next clip.